seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. All the band is out on the field. That's another knockdown. You know, Jim. You believe in miracles? Yes.
The All Things Sport Podcast with your hosts, Damian Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio.
What's happening? What's up? What's going on? It's the All Things Sport Podcast, and I am your host, Damian Banks, broadcasting to you from beautiful Banks Boys Studios right here in Durham, North Carolina. It's the All Things Sport Podcast, where I give you, the listener, just that, all things sport. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what's happening? I'm back. I'm glad that you're still rocking with me, because when you're rocking with me, you're rocking with the best. But I digress. I told you, this show gets better and better every week. I thank you kindly for rocking with me. I have to do this to start the show every week. Follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at Sports by Damian. That's SportsByDaimeon. You can also go to the website, banksboy.com. On that website, you can find this podcast, find older podcasts. We have a YouTube channel on the website. We also have blogs. My brother and partner, Pierre Banks, is also on the website. You can follow him on Instagram and Twitter as well, _my_humble, and we thank you kindly. The show is jam-packed this week, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the show last week. I had a great time recording it. You guys are still hanging in there with me. The fan base grows every week. I thank you so much, man. I feel the love. I really do, man. When I first started recording the podcast, I didn't know if people were really going to listen to it. I didn't know if, I could get a following. And lo and behold, man, I'm still here. We're going on a year, almost a year and a half recording the podcast, and I'm having fun every time I record it. So, I'm not going anywhere. I'm following my dream, and you guys are a part of my dream. I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to inform you. I'm here to inject a little bit of humor into your sports world, and also let you know that I know what I'm talking about, because I am always right. But I digress. This week's show is jam-packed. That time of the year, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, boxing, OTAs in the NFL. It's popping 10. But before I start, let me crack open my spring water. You all know I don't like purified drinking water. I prefer natural spring water. Most of the time it's from Kroger or Harris Teeter, because I love Kroger and Harris Teeter, man. Kroger is like the club to me. I get dressed up to go to Kroger. It's a 24-hour joint, so, you never know who you're going to run into in Kroger. So most of the time, my spring water is from Kroger or Harris Teeter. I got this particular spring water this week from Food Lion, and it is Deer Park. Now, I'm reading the label on the spring water, and I like to see where they get this water from. So this particular spring water is Deer Park, like I said, and it's from a spring located in Tripoli, Pennsylvania, or Bangor, Pennsylvania, or Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, or Higgins, Pennsylvania, South Coventry, Pennsylvania, Pine Grove, Pennsylvania, New Manstown, Pennsylvania, and or Oakland, Maryland. So I'm thinking to myself, it's a lot of damn places to get spring water from. And every place that I just mentioned was in Pennsylvania. And then you throw an arbitrary spring from Oakland, Maryland at the end. Like, I don't even know what that's about. But I digress. Let me crack open my spring water, take a swig, and we're going to get started. Yeah, you heard the top crack, right? I'm not just doing this for show. Let me take that swig. Man, I'm telling you something right now that you need to listen to. Spring water is awesome, bruh. I'm trying to tell you. Like, the first sip is like the first hit, man. Oh, let me take another sip. Hold up. Okay. Let's do it. All right, now the hot topics for this week's edition of the All Things Sport podcast. There was a lot of sports going on this past week. And actually on Saturday, this past weekend, there was a lot of boxing going on. And I was watching Showtime. They had boxing on HBO and Showtime. But I flicked through the channels and I saw boxing on Showtime. And I saw Floyd's fighter, Gervonta Davis, kid out of Baltimore, Maryland. They call him Tank. Gervonta beat the hell out of some guy named Liam Walsh, knocked him out in the third round, was banging on his head like a pair of drums. And, after the fight, they interviewed Floyd and they interviewed Gervonta Davis. Now, Gervonta Davis just won this fight. He is a champion in his own right. But every question after the fight was about Floyd Mayweather fighting Conor McGregor. Now, Conor McGregor is the MMA fighter, has been running his mouth for a couple months trying to chase that check, trying to secure that bag to fight Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd is, I guess he's going to fight him. I don't know, man. I'm not going to pay to see that fight. I will go over someone's house or go to someone's bar and watch it for free, but I'm not going to pay to see Floyd beat up Conor McGregor, run around the ring and outbox Conor McGregor for 12 rounds. I'm not going to pay to see that. But after Gervonta Davis's fight, that's all the commentators asked about. They didn't even ask Gervonta Davis about his fight. They asked Floyd whether he was going to fight Conor McGregor. So Floyd, if you're listening to the podcast, man, fight him already, man. Please just fight him, beat him up, and take everybody's money and be done with it, man. So I watched boxing on Saturday. Also, real interesting boxing occurrence on Saturday. Andre Dirrell was taking on Jose Uzcategui. I hope I said his name right. I'm just going to call him Jose, like Jose Cuervo, but I digress. Andre Dirrell, he won the vacant interim super middleweight title because Jose knocked out Andre Dirrell after the bell rang, at the end of the round. So he was disqualified, giving Andre Dirrell that championship. Now, after the fight, Andre Dirrell's uncle, he took offense to that. Dirrell's uncle's name is Leon Lawson Jr. Sounds like a preacher, like a Reverend Leon Lawson Jr., but I digress. Leon Lawson Jr., uncle of Andre Dirrell, he caught Jose with a beautiful left hook, man. Almost knocked the man's jaw off. I'm surprised that he didn't knock him out. So Jose has a hell of a chin. So now the cops are looking for Leon Lawson Jr. Probably an assault charge in the near future for Buddy. Bruh, if I can, this is a podcast, so you can't see the video, but please just Google Leon Lawson Jr. punch, and you'll see that he threw a beautiful left hook. It was gorgeous, and he almost knocked Buddy's jaw off. So he's been suspended indefinitely by the boxing commission. But Andre Dirrell did win that vacant interim super middleweight championship. It was crazy. You gotta love boxing, the sweet science. It's a pugilistic thing. It's a man thing, but I digress. Also, hot topics going on. NFL OTAs are going on right now. NFL draft was about a month ago. Rookie camps took place about 2 weeks ago. So now NFL teams are participating in their OTAs, which stands for Organized Team Activities. You just learned something listening to the All Things Sport podcast. One particular OTA that I want to talk about is the Chicago Bears. Now, the Bears did have Jay Cutler playing quarterback for them last year, but Cutler retired. They signed quarterback Mike Glennon in the offseason to a big contract, signed Glennon away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Mike Glennon is thinking, yeah, man, this is my team. I'm running the show. I'm the quarterback. I'm going to get all the glory. Not so fast, sir. The Chicago Bears in this past NFL draft, they surprised everyone, including myself, and they drafted quarterback Mitchell Trubisky out of the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill with the number 2 pick in the draft. And Mike Glennon had to be pissed, man. I would be. I wouldn't be that mad because he just signed a huge contract, like making $15 million a year. I think $18 million of his contract is guaranteed. So regardless if he plays or not, I mean, he's going to have $18 million. But of course, the competitor in Mike Glennon wants to play. He wants to start. But the Chicago Bears, they drafted Mitch Trubisky with the number 2 pick. So in all likelihood, that's Mitch Trubisky's team. But Mike Glennon, he's pretty naive, like most people are. Mike Glennon said that he got a call from GM Ryan Pace 10 minutes after the Bears selected Mitch Trubisky. And Ryan Pace is the Bears GM. And Pace assured Mike Glennon that 2017 would be his year. Mike Glennon, if you believe that, bruh, I have beachfront property to sell you in Antarctica. Think about it. Beachfront property, Antarctica. You don't even have to be a genius to know that that doesn't exist. Bruh, they drafted Mitch Trubisky number 2 overall. It's not your team, dog. That's not your team, man. That's Mitch Trubisky's team. But you do have your money. Be happy with that, but you're not going to be the starting quarterback. You may start for a few games to start the season, but Mitch Trubisky is going to be playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He was the number 2 pick overall. And GM Ryan Pace, that was his pick. So do you really think that he's not going to play Mitch Trubisky? Come on, man. You're smarter than that. You went to North Carolina State University, one of the top schools in the nation. So you can't be stupid. You know that's not going to be your team, man. That's Mitch Trubisky's team. Another case of UNC beating NC State. It's ridiculous, man. We just can't win. We being NC State University. Now, I did not attend North Carolina State University, but I was and still am a fan of the Wolfpack. Grew up in Durham, North Carolina, but I always backed the Pack. I did not attend NC State. I went to Virginia State University, the Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia, home of the Trojans. But I love NC State. This is another case of UNC sticking it to NC State, man. Why would you sign Mike Glennon in the offseason to a huge deal and then draft a quarterback number 2 overall? I don't know what the Chicago Bears are doing, but they just hurt Mike Glennon's feelings, man. Mike, if you need anybody to talk to, man, don't call me. Email me, Damian.banks@gmail.com, or get at me on Instagram and Twitter @SportsByDamian. You can tell me all your grievances, man. Let me know what's on your mind, Mike Glennon. I want to get you on the podcast, and I want to hear from you and tell me what you think about the Bears drafting a quarterback right after they signed you to a big free agent contract. I want to know, Mike. Please tell me. Speaking of the NFL, this is a somber note, man. I want to send a rest in peace to Cortez Kennedy, NFL Hall of Famer, passed away at the tender age of 48. He was a University of Miami graduate, went on to play for the Seattle Seahawks, and he was inducted into the National Football League Hall of Fame in 2012, man. Cortez Kennedy, I remember him vividly. I'm a big San Francisco 49ers fan, and he was a thorn in the 49ers side for many years, man. Great defensive lineman for the Seattle Seahawks. He passed away. Also, man, speaking of people passing away, getting off of sports a little bit, Roger Moore of James Bond fame, he passed away as well, man. They say death comes in threes, so I don't know who's going to pass away next, but Roger Moore and Cortez Kennedy. Now, most people know Roger Moore from playing James Bond, but I did love Roger Moore and James Bond, but I remember him mostly as Dobbsy on one of Jean-Claude Van Damme's best movies, The Quest. Look it up, kids. Thank me later. All right, man, we're rocking, we're rolling. We doing our ting-ting, as my island people would say. We're doing our ting, man. We're doing our ting on the All Things Sport podcast. I'm going to take this commercial break. You're rocking with me. You're rocking with the best. It's ATS. We'll be right back on Spreaker Radio.
What up, this is Pierre Banks, and when I'm back in Boone watching the Mountaineers, my first stop is always Mountaineer Mania. The good folks at Mountaineer Mania have the widest selection of app gear, so you can cheer on the Mountaineers in style. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, sweatshirts, decals, cornhole sets. I mean, if you need it, they've got it. So head on down to Mountaineer Mania at 497 West King Street in Boone, and tell them I sent you.
the All Things Sport Podcast.
We go back like spinal cords and car seats.
With Damian Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio.
Welcome back to the All Things Sport Podcast. Again, I am your host, Damian Banks. Thank you for listening. You can go to Instagram and Twitter. Follow me at Sports by Damian. Also, go to our website, banksboy.com. It's free. Download everything for the low. You don't have to pay me anything.